All right, welcome back to Dream. Dream talks about her all AUs while I play Minecraft, fully unedited. I have to go back and search
Except for
what.
this time you're AFKing instead of building a building because we ran out of iron.
Yeah, and even then, halfway through that video, I was like AFKing anyways, so I have to go
That one
back.
was very awkward because it didn't have any of your audio. I hope this time we have your audio.
This one should have my audio because I think I had it only in one audio source, and that was not good.
Oh.
So this one
Okay,
should.
so where do we want to start off? Do we want to go over the timeline or do we want to just go over animatronics at the different locations?
We can start with timeline.
Okay. We want to. Oh boy, a I actually have a list for this one.
Okay.
Let me see if I can figure out my amazing timeline that I wrote out somewhere. Okay, so uh, so watching theory videos helps me get. I'm gonna just read this verbatim just to see what exactly this was because I wrote this like 2 years ago, almost three. So watching theory videos helps me gain more info I didn't know, like that the missing kids incident took place in 1985. Also, I forgot that Circus Baby's Pizza World opened because it's closed, so Elizabeth dying first wouldn't make sense. Apparently, somewhere something is said that Freddy's opened in 1983. There's a coin in Help Wanted that has Freddy's Fazbear logo, and it says 1983. And usually those coins list what year the company or whatever restaurant that it's from opened, like
Mm-hmm.
with Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. So there's that. I still think there's at least three sets of different five kids murders, if not more, than the whole pizza and rentals thing going on fun times. Sometime for sometime Fredbear's Family Diner is open. In 1983, Freddy's opens. The crying child dies at Fredbear's. Fredbear probably closes, and Charlie dies. First set of F4 goes on because Cece had the nightmares. It might happen twice, seeing as Michael also has them later. 1985 missing kids incident happens. Freddy's closes for a while. 1985 and 1986 Circus Baby Pizza World opens. Elizabeth dies. Circus Baby's Pizza World closes same day. 1987 the new improved Freddy's opens with the toy animatronic.
Mm-hmm.
More kids die. Fight of 87 happens. The new Freddy's closes like a month after it opened?
Yeah.
Question mark.
And I'm pretty sure they recreate the
1980.
first location, right?
Huh?
I'm pretty sure they recreate the first location right after that.
Yeah, 1982 to 1983. Sister location happens. Michael not dies and turns purple. Freddy's has reopened at some point. FNAF 1 happens. Maybe more kids die, or William got sealed in the back room here. Freddy's closes maybe due to health violations. FNAF 4 happens again? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, this was whenever I was trying to figure out the math of the actual canon timeline,
Well, I
and I was
mean,
writing it out.
I usually always thought it was FNAF 2, then afterwards it was FNAF 1, and then it was
Yeah,
Sister
but FNAF
Location.
4's nighttime mini games takes place before FNAF 2 because takes place in '83.
Oh,
The
okay.
missing kids have always been stated to take place in '85.
Hmm. Yeah, well, yeah,
So,
that one
so
was always
there's very
that.
few things that are actually set in stone, but it's believed that FNAF 2, FNAF 1 takes place in like 2022, 2023, somewhere around there because of the paycheck. And then 2023, Fazbear Fright starts set up to open. Springtrap is found. Fazbear Fright burns down because it's supposed to take place 30 years after the last location closed, which should be FNAF 1, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure.
But
And
William is
then
still alive.
2028, Henry makes a suit to catch the puppet. A Freddy's run by Michael opens. Molten, Scrap, Bab, and Scrap Trap are led to the building. Henry sets the Freddy's on fire. Everyone dies. Question mark, question mark, question mark. You see End happens. In the spirit world, FNAF world happens. Happy's day happens. 20, 2040, 2050, maybe 2060. I don't know. Pizzaplex has been built and open for a while. Kids go missing. Help wanted happens. Vanessa becomes a night guard. Gregory gets trapped in Pizzaplex. Security breach happens. New understanding of the timeline so far.
I mean, I'm not. I kind of understand everything 1 through 6. Everything after that, nah.
I also wrote down how old I think Michael is throughout the games as like a way of describing how the timeline progresses. So ever in FNAF 4, 1983, Mike is 14. FNAF 2, 1987, Mike is 18. FNAF Sister Location 2022, Mike is 23. FNAF
Okay.
1, 1993, Mike in 24. FNAF 3, Mike is 54.
Holy.
Pieces in 2028, Mike is 59.
Man, he gets old all of a sudden.
Because of the 30-year time skip.
He gets about like as old as his dad was when he when he started killing. Like even
Okay,
older
people use
actually.
yeah, because Michael's dad killed people whenever like he was like 30 or something.
Yeah.
Like he's in mid 30s. The entire thing is just ridiculous. So Henry had to have been really, really old.
Yeah, Henry is like old, like full on
Old, old.
like wrinkly old fart old.
Yeah. So entire timeline for FNAF makes no sense to me. Because also apparently in Secret of the Mimic, we find out that in the 70s, whenever the Secret of the Mimic place, the freaking Fazbear Entertainment ran by William and Henry was already a thing.
By
And they were
which time?
planning to open up the FNAF one's location back then, and freaking what's his name? Donovan. No, that's not his name.
Edwin?
Edwin.
Yeah.
Where did I get Donovan?
I don't know.
Edwin was making the Springlock suits for that. Then he died before he could finish, and William essentially forced him to lose all of his career, his life, his child, his company, and then also his house, and moved into it after he died.
Poor dude.
Yeah, in the 70s. So that would mean that William has been around like running a company for like so much longer than we thought. And so I've given up completely on the original timeline. So I actually have written out the timeline for my AU also, if you'd like to hear that. And I feel like I did a little bit better of a job
So you got your
because
own you
what
got
was
your own
that?
headcanon timeline or AU timeline.
Specifically for my AU, yeah, because I tried to squeeze everything into a more reasonable time period, but I don't quite write down when things happen. I just go based off of how old a very specific one character is, and then I just go from there.
Okay. I actually do
Time
want to
periods are a
I
mystery.
actually do want to hear that timeline. Cuz I wonder if they like
Okay,
I wonder if like everything takes place within like 10 years.
not exactly. So I'm gonna read this verbatim, just go straight down the list, which is a little bit out of order, but that's fine. It's just how I wrote it. Uh, also like 3 years ago. So here we go. Okay, so I want to write this down so I have a clear idea of certain things. I can work on shortening the timeline to work for my AU. Maddie was alive before sister location. Maddie is Michael's daughter, my AU. Madeline Madison Acton. So he has a daughter in this AU.
Okay.
That wasn't clear. So, Maddie was alive before sister location happened and has to be old enough to walk and possibly break into a pizzeria. He put an endo 01 in Michael to fix his lack of bones.
Wait, so just to clarify, Michael in this one, oh no, not Michael, William in this one has all the kids plus Madeline.
No, Michael has a daughter.
Oh, Michael has a daughter.
Michael has a daughter. So William has 3 kids. Michael has 1 kid. That kid then has Gregory.
Hmm. So Gregory is like
So
Michael's Grandson.
Grandson, yeah. It's a bit more complicated because once again, my love for reincarnation takes a threshold, and
Ooh.
I cannot stop my love for reincarnation plotlines and makes it more chaotic that way, but I don't care. Anyways, so Maddie was 10 when her stepsister died. Her stepsister was, if I can find her page on here, her sister was Diana. She wasn't really her sister, she was her stepsister. So Diana was a little bit older than Maddie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but her stepsister dies when Maddie's 10. Maddie was traumatized from a situation that happened back then. I don't know why I didn't write that down. I wrote this down very weirdly, but we're just gonna roll with it, and then I'll explain things after I read this entire page. 2 years later, when Maddie was 12, the sim happens. So, this location, then Maddie's stepsister dies, then Pizza Sim. Maddie and her mom reports Michael missing while Maddie is still 12. Maddie inherits most of, not all of, Fazbear Company and After Robotics because Henry disinherited his own family, not wanting them involved, leaving her as the only living person related to William that could inherit anything. This happens shortly after the missing report. Maddie visits the burnt pizzeria her dad ran and picks up two somethings from there. Maddie isn't taken seriously by the company and at 15 decides to reopen one of the old locations to prove she can totally run a business. She chooses to reopen the FNAF 2 building, the animatronics she made herself, Freddy's toy box. Maddie has also inherited the family diner as again Henry and William shared that one. She decides to reopen that one around the same time as the toy box. Maddie's toy box is renovated to add more things to it, including a collapsible wall to reveal a pirate place in Kids Cove. Maddie reopens the FNAF 1 location. A Baby's Funtime Circus is built and opened. At some point, Maddie has Eloise and Gregory. So Gregory's a reincarnation of the crying child, and Eloise is a reincarnation of Charlie.
Oh, Eloise.
Eloise, so that's close to the Ella doll or Eleanor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So just so that I'm pretty sure I named her before the Fazbear Frights books came out, to be fair. I just liked the name Eloise. Where are you going?
I don't know, I'm just walking around. Go ahead.
Oh, you don't want to get confused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I named her before the Fazbear Frights and before the whole entire Eleanor and Silver Eyes. I don't know why they ended up being the same, but I just kept the name anyways. I was like, oh, that's funny. Oh gosh, hello. And go home, you scared me. Anyways, so someone stole something from Maddie's office and sent it to the game team to speed up the production of Help Wanted. After this, either Maddie goes to confront the person and goes missing, then security breach happens, or Maddie goes to the person and Gregory got kidnapped or something and security breach happened. I'm not quite sure on that because I actually have not worked on the security breach part of the timeline just yet. Because
You haven't gotten
I
that
don't know
far
what to
yet.
do with that. Security breach is very complicated.
It is. That is where things start getting really messy.
That is a short rundown of part of the timeline. And then I wrote, I feel the need to mention that while I'm using Maddie as a basis of what happened, that the AU isn't really too much about her. I see it like the games before Help Wanted was about Michael and the puppet trying to fix what William had done before Henry came in and kind of threw that off. IU is, for the most part, a story about what Maddie did after Michael disappeared and the legacy she made and how her kids, Cassidy and the animatronics, are trying to preserve that legacy. I don't have her actively in the locations once they're fully running as successful. Ellie's at Freddy's toy box the most, and Gregory's at the diner a lot. For the Aftons and those connected to them, the crimes of the past are faded memory, and only the legend remains, and they want to keep it that way. Keep any more of what William and Baby did from happening. Anyways, back to timeline stuff. I love that clarifying message. It's just so great. That makes so much sense. Love that. Okay. Help Wanted is on. Okay, so this is once again timeline stuff. I changed the emoji that I was using for this one. Help Wanted is underway. Beta tester Jeremy meets the trap, cuts off his own face. girl starts beta testing the game in this place and also finds Glitch Trap. Safe girl tries to steal Glitch Trap away but gets brainwashed before she can finally finish. New beta tester is brought in to play the game. That person collects Glitch tape also gets brainwashed. This repeats several times. So originally I was gonna have this really cool thing of based off of Pat's theory of the cult of Glitch Trap or whatever for Hope when it came out.
Ooh,
I
I
was
don't.
gonna do that whole entire thing on that because that was fun.
Ooh,
I'm still
cult of.
debating on if I want to do that or not, but that's kind of just faded into the background as I worked more on other parts of the AU because this AU is more colorful, friendly, playful than dark and gritty like FNAF actually
Yeah,
is.
like the entire of FNAF, yeah.
This AU was more cheerful in a weird way. So is that
That's what a lot of
yeah?
AUs are supposed
This
to be
repeats.
like. It's supposed to be like a lot of people like to do like cheerful versions of a darker, messed up
My favorite thing is
version.
the fact that with Undertale, a lot of the AUs end up actually being grittier than actual Undertale, and this is such a fun reverse. Look at, oh yeah, this cheerful game, we're gonna make dark, gritty, depressing. These dark, gritty games, we're gonna make a fun, high school themed, happy, yay, woo!
Yeah, what if yeah, what if FNAF was a high school musical?
Uh, you know what I really hate is whenever I'm trying to find a fanfic, and I keep running into the stupid tag of modern AU, but the freaking fandom thing that it is actually is already modern.
Yeah, technically everything in the is already technically modern. I mean, look at
Yeah, I
Security
want you to
Breach.
imagine me trying to find dang freaking Undertale, Death Note, freaking FNAF, and fix that match the criteria that I'm looking for. Oftentimes amnesia because I think that that's funny. Uh, and I just keep finding, oh yeah, modern AU, or weirdly, office AU, for series that are already in an office. Imagine looking for fanfic for the show The Office, and you just keep getting the tag Office AU for all of them, and it's like, what does that mean? It's already set in an office.
Is it like, gut? Yeah, yeah. You're not really exactly helping with just a general title as like Office AU. Like, yeah, okay, buddy. What kind of bro? Okay,
The show The Office already takes place in an office. It'd be weird to have an Office AU of a show that's called The Office
The
that
Office,
takes place in an office.
The Office AU.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, yeah. So that's weird. Anyways, moving on. Back to the EU timeline that I had written out that I never looked back to check after all these years. And I've just been progressing stuff without looking back at it or editing any of it. Let's go. One of the testers is moved to security for the Pizzaplex, even though she didn't work for the company yet. I think you know who that is. Cassie tries to stop the glitch by going into the game similar to who happiest day to how happiest day and UCN works. It fails and she's weakened. Then I have a little hold on, let me draw this out for you so you have it in the video. Right after that. If you look at the chat.
Hold on, let me look at chat.
Emoji.
Hold on, let me look at chat real quick. What is that?
That is the emoji. That is the emoticon that I put at the end of that section of the AU.
Well, what is that supposed to mean?
I have no idea. I think it's just looking at the floor.
Oh,
Anyways, next up, uh, another different emoji. Let's go. Eloise and Gregory find out about the brainwashed people. I don't know how yet. The animatronics are informed to be on the lookout for anyone acting odd. Because the animatronics are possessed and not on a combined network system like the Pizzaplex is, they can't be hacked. Gregory isn't sure what's causing all these problems, but he's dead set on trying to find out. Elise tries to play bait near locations she thinks have been affected. She always brings an animatronic from one of the locations she trusts with her. Don't worry, she's safe. At least once a brainwashed person managed to get into one of the locations. They got caught before they could hurt anyone, but it was very awkward. They call for Susie, who was off that night, and to explain why there was a kid in the building. So in my AU, I have the original 5 missing children minus Cassidy reincarnated.
As
And I
who?
don't, and no, I do not go into that,
Oh,
other than
okay.
that they each work as security guards at a different location. He
I
works at the toy box.
yeah, I remember you talking about that one earlier. Like a couple of
He's,
like last month.
I think it was more than last month. It's
No,
been a while since I
it
last
was
talked
a
about
while
FNAF.
ago.
It's been a while since I held you captive like this.
I know.
This would be so much more intimidating if I had brought a bow, but I brought a sword.
I'm generally terrified, as you can see by my terrified expression.
Anyway, uh, okay. Update, I decided the Pizzaplex is under construction before help wanted. Also, for the record, MAU, Ellie, and Gregory are 12 during security breach, but are probably going to be around 8 during most of my actual AU. So I'm making members of the staff of making members of the staff of the application, so there's that. And that's the timeline that I wrote out on my AU timeline stuff. I don't know why I wrote it that way. Oh my gosh, hold on. I have a solo section where I wrote down the timeline according to Michael's age.
Where his age would actually be normal in this timeline.
Oh my gosh, hold on. What is this solo timeline talk? So apparently the previous one that I read to you was me trying to discuss a timeline with a friend, and I did not do very well on that, and also they didn't really talk much. I think I might have been in a VC with them whenever I did that.
Hmm.
Want me to read the solo timeline talk section? Because
The
what did I do in here?
the solo timeline.
I have 3 different timeline talk sections on my FNAF server.
All right.
So one of them was where I was talking with friend Ash about it. One of them was where I was trying to figure out the timeline for my AU, and then one of them was where I was trying to figure out the timeline by myself without talking to anyone else while doing so. And I don't know what the heck this is. I love how I just have the start of it says 1970s Fall Fest, 1979 Fredbear's opens, 1983 CC Death Bite,
Mm.
1983 Fazbear Pizza opens, 1985 Missing Kids, 1987 A Bite of 87, 1987 Dead Kids question mark. And then I went through and put age of Michael to try and figure out how to condense the timeline a bit better. Also, oh, this actually has when Michael met his ex-girlfriend, who's the mother of his child.
Of
Did I read this section to you?
Madeline.
Madeline is his daughter, yes.
Okay.
Let me read this entire section to you, or should I talk about something else?
You can read that entire section.
Okay. So
Well,
1979, Fedbear opens. 83 CC dies. Fedbear's open. Charlie dies. Michael is 14. 1940, 1985, Missing Kids, Michael is 16. 1986, Baby's Pizza Roll almost opens. 1986, Elizabeth dies. Michael is 17.
okay.
1987, Co-Location opens. 1987, Bite of 87, the Dead Kids incident. Michael meets Amber. That would be
The ex-girlfriend.
his ex-girlfriend, who's the mother of his child.
Okay.
I love their relationship because she broke into the FNAF 2 location while he was working there, and he just kind of was like, "Girl, what is wrong with you?" And she's like, "I am a reporter." We're in high school. "I am a reporter, and I will get the truth." She's the type of person where, you know, in those adventure movies where there's like some sort of trap or whatever, and you have to put your hand in it to trigger it. she'd absolutely be the type of person to immediately put her hand in it, no questions asked, no hesitation. Nobody even told her to do so. She just immediately does it because, oh look, a hole. I'm gonna put my hand in it.
So she's what you would call a carefree person, is what you're saying.
She's the type of. I would not say that she's carefree. I would say that she does not think before she acts.
Okay. So dumb. No, I'm playing.
Act first, ask questions later. Consequences of my action. Anyways, 1990, Safe from His Hill. 1990, William is Stringlocked. Michael is 21.
21.
1993, F1 phone guy dies. 1993, F1 closes by year's end. Michael is 24. This location, question marks, Fast question mark. 2 to 5 years after sister location pizza sim, I have an edited thing. And then I have written down, Google says it takes 40 years for a body to decay.
It takes how long for bodies to
What?
decay?
40 years?
I mean, it does take a while for it to go straight to bone, but I don't know if it takes that long.
I don't think that's what I was Googling. I think I was Googling like how long it takes for a body to decay because I was trying to figure out when exactly William was spring locked for him to be in the decayed state that he's in during Raspberry
I
Frights.
mean, he's not like decayed. He's like, is he really full on dead if he's in the spring lock?
I think he's possessing his own corpse.
Eh.
Okay, so because in Half 3, uh, he has mostly just skin and bones. Like, he has like very little moisture in his body.
And you can
And
kind
also
of
you can
see,
see inside of him to see his heart
yeah, you can kind of see his
and
organs from the
intestines.
suit. That's kind of
So
gross.
if he's sort of decayed, and then somehow by FNAF 6, he's just a skeleton inside of there. So
Yeah. Okay. Oop.
weirdness. Anyway, so I googled how long it takes for a body to decay like
That
2 years
okay.
ago.
I'm not gonna lie. That's one of the things you kind of don't want to search on Google, just in case if you have the government watching you, just in case.
I think I followed up by searching for for book reasons.
Yeah. That'll help.
For my story, I need to know how long it takes for a body to decay. To be fair, I also tended to search at Google, why do I keep getting Spanish ads? I hate Spanish. Didn't help. But still, I was hoping that Google would like pick up on that and be like, hey, this girl, she don't like Spanish. Let's give less Spanish ads.
Uh,
I think at one point I got a German ad.
You have very bipolar Google searches. How long does it take for a body to decay? Oh, and also, I freaking
Like,
hate Spanish ads. Can you stop giving me those, please?
okay, after like the 12th Spanish ad, freaking Febreze, I get sick of getting Febreze Spanish ads where I can't understand a lick of what they're saying.
This is something you should
Okay.
just learn Spanish.
Get Spanish. Anyways, back to the tab. Okay. So there is totally the possibility for Michael to be 50s in FNAF 3. Which comes first, Location or Fazbear Fright? Orange says Location, then FNAF 3. I think FNAF 3, then Sister Location. I think I'll roll with FNAF 3, then Sister Location right after. So then Willy Boy is not fully run, so it can't be 40 years after, or probably even 30, as there's water dripping in the room. So 10, 20, maybe 15. I actually did research on that a little bit too, because water can make a body decay faster,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a water leak in the safe room directly where Springtrap collapsed, and so also is what made the spring locks go off whenever he laughed too hard. It
I
was
always thought
wet
it was
too.
like the moisture from his laughing. I thought that's what caused it, but that also could have been.
It already showed like water dripping in the room before he went into the suit a little bit,
Yeah,
and there was a little puddle underneath it before that, and then there was a blood puddle after that.
it could also just been both, but yeah. Ooh.
So because it was wet in there, it's very possible that his body decayed a little bit faster. So I said, um, because there's water dripping in the room, so 10, 20, maybe 15. Claim they were having 30 years after the first location closed in 85, so then 2010, that sounds fine. 1970s, Fall Fest. Okay, so this was me writing out the timeline once again once I figured out how exactly I wanted that to be. Okay, so then FNAF 1983, FNAF 1, Phone Guy dies. 1980, 19, or not 1983, 1993, Phone Guy dies. 1993, FNAF 1 closes by year's end. Michael is 24. 1999, Madeline Afton is born. So 1999, Maddie is born. Maddie's here now. 2005, that's where Frights happens. And 2005, sister location maybe a month later. So Michael is 36 and Maddie is 6.
Okay.
2006, Michael stumbles. 2006, Michael stumbles home without any bones. He's still 36, and Maddie is now 7. 2009, Maddie is attacked by Baby. Maddie is now 10. Michael is 39. 2011, Pizza Sim happens. Maddie is 12. Michael is 41.
Still old, but not as old anymore.
It's reasonable, and it's reasonable whenever you consider the fact that he has a daughter now.
Yeah, it's that yeah. I've always found it weird that I've always found it weird between the jump between Sister Location and FNAF 3 all the way to like 23 or something like that. Such a big jump. Or like 20 something.
Sister Location, I think, is supposed to take place after FNAF 3 because of the cutscene where Michael's saying, I'm going to come find you, and it shows Springtrap in a burned down building. But then it takes several years after that for FNAF 6 to happen because William goes from slightly crispy FNAF 3 suit to whatever the heck the peanut head is
Yeah,
in FNAF 6
yeah.
with just bones and no more organs.
He looks so goofy in FNAF 6. He looks so cool in FNAF 3, then all of a sudden he just looks
There's
like
a theory that the reason why he looks so goofy is actually because he took parts from Fredbear to fix his suit because of the fact that his suit was constantly in performance mode, and so it kept going to wherever it heard children sounds without his input.
mm-hmm.
And so to fix that, he took parts from the Fredbear suit that, killed his son and he stuffed Cassidy into. Because the Trap suit has feet, and the Springtrap suit does not. Which actually, what happened to William's feet, actually, now that I think about it, with the FNAF 3 suit?
I mean, I'm
It
pretty
only
sure
has it only has endoskeleton feet, no human feet, but it has like flesh wrapped around it.
isn't that the suit around the endoskeleton feet?
No, because it's red and squishy in FNAF 3.
Ooh, you know what?
Like tendons.
You know what? I'm not one to look at a dirty animatronic's feet, but
I'm just saying that the whole entire thing is weird. Anyways, so Trap has like animatronic, like actual plush feet, while the FNAF 3 Springtrap does not. It's just endoskeleton feet, and so it's possible that he took pieces from Fredbear to fix his suit. Which, okay, I guess. That's why he has a peanut head, apparently. Or he took the head that was also in the back, where when Cece got locked in there and was crying that one time. Slightly different shape to the regular Bonnie heads. Whatever. Anyways, moving on. So, 2011, Pizza Sim happens. Maddie is 12, Michael is 41. And then, oh, I went through the timeline again, but this time I put when Michael was born and all that jazz. So, 1969, 69, Michael was born.
That's funny.
1970s, Fall Fest. 1975, Elizabeth was born. 1976, Cece was born. And then 1979, Fredbear's opens. And then I went over all the other timeline after that. And then, so yeah, that's the timeline that I wrote down in my solo timeline talk.
Okay.
That gives a pretty good idea of the timeline actually year-wise, and then I gave up after that because I was like, how am I gonna figure out when Maddie had her kids and how old she is?
I
It
mean, when
also requires me figuring out when the heck security breach happens.
doesn't security breach happen like towards kind of modern time?
Here's the thing. For that to be the case, and that would mean that Fazbear
Clara,
Fright did not happen 2 years ago.
really? Because I thought it was like a big jump between like FNAF 6 all the way to security breach.
It is a big jump between the two because bears are extinct. Security breach. Bears are extinct in security breach.
Are they actually?
Anyways,
That must
yes,
then that's
there's a
probably
little.
then either it's like a alternate universe, or like it's really really well in the future, at the point where like Claire
It's
Afton shouldn't even
really
be
well in the future.
at the point where like Claire Afton shouldn't even be alive anymore.
Claire Afton wasn't even a thing, by the way.
In security breach?
Yeah, no, Claire's not the one that's running security breach. Fiona
Oh.
is. Edwin's dead wife.
Oh, so it's been Fiona since the whole time. See, this is what I mean by I'm not really caught up in the entire thing. I don't know what the hell
Yeah.
Steel Wolf is doing.
I don't know either, and I'm scared because I'm pretty sure I don't know when Secret of the Mimic takes place, but I think it's like mid 70s.
Yeah, it's supposed to
It's
take
even
place.
more.
It's supposed to take place during the 70s, I believe, during the Fall
I
Fest.
think it's mid 70s. Yeah, mid 70s. They're supposed to take place after Fall Fest, after everything's already collapsed. But
Yeah.
still, it's in the 70s. Like, I mean that Fazbear Entertainment has been around, first of all, without any Fazbear location since the early 70s. So how old is William?
I mean, see, this is what I was talking about. I'm pretty
William and
sure.
Henry, they aged like fine wine, and I don't know why,
Yeah,
and
this
that
is what I
pisses
was
me
talking
off.
about. Like I had a feeling that like William was like an old mother yucker the whole time.
Except for the fact that he should be around the. Who's who's the guy that played Shaggy in the live action Scooby Doo movies?
Matthew
What's
Lillard,
his name
yeah.
again? Matthew Williard. I can't remember his name to save my life. I just remember him as Shaggy.
Like I always believe like that looks like an accurate depiction, because I always believe that William is like an old fart that like it's like an old fart. Like he's like already
Here's the
he's like a
thing.
cane and everything
FNAF
at this
1,
point.
the movie, takes place like in, I think, like 2011.
Oh well, yeah, I forgot that FNAF 1 is its own timeline. The movie.
The FNAF movies are its own timeline. The books are their own timeline. The freaking games are their own timeline.
Yeah.
I can't. But yeah, so that's why I just abandoned the timeline completely of the canon one, because the more that we learn about it, the more concerned and confused I'm getting, because apparently there's freaking God David and the Fiona repeating cycle, whatever thing going on, where she's essentially using the field to make things repeat. So David, our crying child, named after Fiona's son, and then he dies, and then Gregory's based off of both of them, and then he's still alive somehow. But he gets possessed by this chap, and there's so many things going on, and I'm so confused. And I love FNAF so much, but I've given up on the canon timeline. I've given up. I'm gonna take aspects that I like, and I'm gonna run with it.
Yeah,
You know
like
what really pissed me off?
hmm.
So many of the things in my AU are actually canon to the games, but not in the way that I have them in my AU, and I made my AU long before any of this.
What do you mean by like
I
it's
started
it's
working on my AU after Sister Location came out,
mm-hmm.
and so a lot of the stuff in my AU I made up a long time ago, and one of them was the self-learning AI
Which happened to
that
be the Secret of the Mimic stuff, yeah.
kept.
God, that is.
which I based off of an actual AI thing from like the 80s, I think, that I learned about from a Disney theme park animatronic video that I watched a couple years ago. I was like, oh, hey, that explains the thing that I've been working on this entire time that I didn't have a name for because I wasn't sure if it was a thing back then or not.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Steel Wolf got that same inspiration too.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it was just one single animatronic that had that actually. And it was literally just used as like a display of what AI could be for like animatronics. And it was this endoskeleton that was kind of see-through, and he had a little bow, and he was able to change the color of his bow, and so he was like able to ask someone in the audience, "Oh, what's your favorite color?" And they could be like, "Oh, blue." And he's like, "Oh, I also like blue. Hey, look, my bow ties now blue." So the concept was that he would remember what you said if he ever saw you again, so that he could be like, "Hey, favorite color is blue. I also like blue."
So that animatronic also had facial recognition.
No, I don't think so.
Hmm.
It was just a concept.
Oh, just a concept. Hey, okay.
Just a concept, but like it was able to remember things essentially. It was self-learning, and its personality was kind of jittery and scared actually, so that's fun. Yeah, and so I was like, oh hey, that's cool. That makes sense with what I had planned for my AU with the possessed animatronics. When the souls eventually move on, I want their personalities to remain the same though, and that's how I was gonna figure out how to do it. And I was originally gonna be like, oh yeah, their souls imprinted on it on the hard drive so much that it ended up copying their personalities, which essentially is self-learning AI that's able to adapt and learn and copy and whatever, you know, sort of. So then I expanded it based off of that, and that was cool, and I really liked that. And then I when did friggin' when did FNAF 6 come out, actually? I'm gonna look that up.
FNAF 6 came around like 2018, 2019.
Let me check. 2017.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah. So, around like 2017, 2018, I came up with the um learning AI thing. So it's been several years. So it was long, long before the security breach thing and the mimic thing. The thing is, I actually had a roleplay blog dedicated to my AU, but then I forgot what the email was that I used for it, and so I never logged into the email, and I never logged back onto the server, and so the server got deleted at some point. And so all of my dedication, all of my writing of that is gone because I did not start again documenting this AU until 2023. You know, and so it really sucks because I didn't really think about documenting it until much later. Whenever I was talking about it again with some online friends, and I was like, "Oh no, wait! I started the server in 2022." Yeah, either way. So I started this whole entire project some years ago, and then I stopped working on it, and then I came back to it some years ago, and now almost everything that I had for my AU has been taken and repurposed into the actual canon FNAF, but in a different way, and so it looks like I'm copying them when I'm not. Uh,
Yeah, because you technically made it way before they did. So technically, they're copying
yeah,
you.
I don't know how they'd be able to do that when I have not posted anything for my AU in like forever.
One of your friends, this is how I can tell, one of your friends that you talked about your AUs with actually worked for Steel Wolf, and they brought it up to
I
them, and Steel Wolf was like, that is an amazing idea. We
I
should do
think I
that.
met all of my recent friends in No FNAF after
Oh.
Security Breach came out, or like after Help Wanted came out.
Hmm.
It couldn't be it, and I wasn't really talking about my AU to anyone before that. I just kind of had like a little blog where I was like working on stuff and like posting little whatever things on it, like sporadically. and then I had logged out of it to roleplay Undertale. It wasn't Naruto. Either way, I logged out of it to work on some sort of other fandom roleplay blog, and then I forgot the email, and I couldn't remember what the email was. So I couldn't get the recovery password, so I couldn't log back in, and so I just kind of abandoned ship, and I was just like, well, that sucks. Oh well, I don't mind. Uh, the olden times. Yeah, I missed that. It was fun. It was a fun AU. Okay, now that I've read out all the timeline, do you have any questions for me to clarify about the timeline?
There was a question I had earlier. I can't seem to remember though, because it was all like
Think
it was
about it.
it was like a half an hour ago. I had a question, but I didn't want to have to
Oh, I'm
interrupt you.
sorry. You could have interrupted me anytime you wanted. I would not have minded. I love talking about my AUs.
I can't remember what time. No, I can't remember exactly what the question was. Maybe it'll come up later.
Okay. What should I talk about next then for my AU? Because we only have like what, a couple minutes left.
Yeah,
I was just literally reading what I wrote down for the timeline.
we have 10 minutes left.
Oh my gosh, we don't have enough time to go over anything.
No, we have time. We have You could probably talk about. So you were talking about. So I guess we can start with characters, right?
I don't think I can go over all of the characters in 10 minutes.
I guess we'll start. We can probably just talk about very important characters. You said William Afton in this AU is kind of around the same, right?
Yeah, I don't think I changed William Afton all that much. Let me find his page. I have a very short description of his page, and I love it so very much. It's name William Afton, nicknames Dave, Springtrap, Glitchtrap, Status Fled. His soul just refuses to leave. His smile has got downloaded into an AI. That's a really bad virus. Fun facts: it's possible he was jealous of his business partner, but he also just did terrible things to his own children, so it's unclear what his deal is. Age somewhere in his 30s, or when he got springlocked. Did he age after? No idea. Sexuality? No. Oh,
No.
actually, fun facts about him that I did not write down on here, but I always keep in mind because I think that it's hilarious of a concept. William was a very competitive person. He's been friends with Henry for quite a long time. And Henry and his wife were struggling to conceive. And so William got a girlfriend just to show off to Henry at some point. But then Henry got married. William just was not interested in marriage at all because he was not interested in women. But he wanted to show off to Henry. He wanted to prove that he's better than Henry.
So
He's weird like that.
is that why he had a family and everything just to show up at Emily? Be like, oh, you have
No,
a.
it was an accident. Michael was an oopsie baby.
Oh, what about the other children? Were they also oopsie babies?
Sort of. Okay, so Henry was struggling. Henry's wife was struggling to conceive. William accidentally got his girlfriend pregnant, and so because of the conservative time that they lived in, they had to get married very shortly afterwards. And so William had Michael. Then after that, William and Henry were kind of in a competition of who could have a daughter first because Henry did not seem to mind that William had a kid before him. He was like, "Oh, congratulations!" And he was like, "Me and my wife are still trying to conceive. I really hope to have a daughter." And so then William was like, "Oh yeah, great, good for you." And so then after thinking about it a bit, and Henry's still struggling to have children, William was like, "Wait, I already have this woman. I don't particularly like her, but I have her. If I have a daughter before Henry, then that proves I'm better than him."
So
And
the
so he had
whole
Elizabeth.
so the whole thing with Clara, it was just all just there was nothing
I have her
with
page.
them.
I have her page on here. I have her page on here. She was she liked ballet. She married William for some reason. She's missing, but was probably murdered. She had naturally purple eyes. Age, I have no idea. Sexuality, straight.
Mm,
And her name on this is Miss Afton.
yeah, Ballerina makes sense.
However, yeah. Because there was just name chosen by the fandom because of the Mortal and the Restless, so that might not actually be Mrs. Acton's name, honestly.
Clara might not be her name.
Probably not her name, but it's what the fandom decided, and so I just was like, I'm just gonna call her Mrs. Acton or Miss Acton. She
Yeah.
got divorced from William. It was a whole entire messy thing. We don't talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on. So William and his wife had Elizabeth, and then shortly afterwards, Henry and his wife had twins, Charlie and Sammy.
Who?
And Sammy is a character from the Silver Eyes. He's Charlie's twin brother.
Is that actually?
In the Silver Eyes, in the
Uh,
Silver Eyes, Charlie was still murdered, but her dad made a robot of her out of his grief. He cried into a doll and it came to life in his head, and so then he put it in a little robot that became the Ella doll.
okay, so
And he made
right.
robots of all the other ones. And then in Silver Eyes, Baby is actually the adult form of Charlie, but he never finished the robot. William stole it, finished it, and then it killed his own daughter.
That is so weird. So baby is supposed to be Charlie, but actually didn't
In
actually really be
the
Charlie.
Silver Eyes trilogy, yes. In the actual games, I have no idea, nor do I particularly care.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
timeline difference.
so
Yeah.
I only kept the fact that Charlie has a twin brother because that's funny. Because William just kills one of them and leaves the other one. And I also explain why that Henry's always been like a very daddy's. Uh, he's been a very daddy's. I forgot the word. He's always wanted to have a daughter, essentially. So he was excited to have a daughter, and he had Charlie after Elizabeth was born. So Elizabeth is a little bit older than Charlie. And then
Mm-hmm.
William and his wife ended up having a crying child after that. Um, then his wife and him had a falling out. They got a divorce. His wife took um his wife took one of the kids in the divorce. So during so then during the time where crying child's week before his birthday took place, Elizabeth was with her mother, while William had custody over the two boys for for that week. He was nowhere to be found. His oldest was raising both of them whenever they were around. Obviously, Michael did not handle very well being forced to raise his younger siblings. You know? Yes. So, William essentially only got married and had children to one up Henry after his oopsie baby that was Michael.
Yeah. I I think it's almost hilarious and comical just how evil and non-empathetic that William is. He's like so like I think it's just weird just how I think it's just funny just how psychotic that man is.
Oopsie baby Michael.
First he's like, "Oh no, my child died. Oh well, that was just embarrassing. Gotta go kill Henry's
Okay, so
kid."
so here's the thing. The fact that Crying Child was born after Charlie in my AU, that means that he kind of probably had Crying Child on purpose. Elizabeth was his favorite. Crying Child was like his second favorite because like he had a microphone in the dang plush or something. Keep an eye on Crying Child and just left Michael to his own devices, essentially. Which is
Every
another reason why Michael really hated his siblings.
every time I watch every time I watch like timelines, it always seems like the crying child is the least favorite out of everyone's, because it just seems like no one cares about him.
William cared about him enough to put freaking spyware in the house and in the stuffed animal and all that just to keep an eye on Crying Child. He left Michael to his own devices. But no, Crying Child was like one that he had on purpose. One of the few that he had on purpose. He had Elizabeth to one up Henry, so Elizabeth's his favorite because, oh, I won by having a daughter before Henry. So
Oh,
favorite in that regard.
big flex.
And then he had Crying Child after that as the son I never had kind of thing. Like Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah, that is a weird but accurate comparison.
Yeah, so stupid Smart's parents. The son I never had. You have a son before this one. What are you talking about? Anyways, yeah. So William liked his two youngest. Michael could go screw off. He did not care about Michael at all. Yeah. So when Crying Child died, William kind of spiraled a little bit, and shortly afterwards, he murdered Charlie as revenge to Henry because of the fact that, you know, Fredbear's family diner. Fredbear is essentially Henry's character, and so because Fredbear killed Crying Child, that in turn means that Henry killed Crying Child in William's head. And he's like, if I have to live in a world without one of my favorites, then you don't deserve to have your favorite either. So he killed Charlie. Did that fix anything? No. Then he proceeded to kill more children because he's angry.
No, he killed more
And
children because he liked doing it the first time.
no. I'm saying man has no control over his emotions and is stupid.